Hi, Blue. How are you?
Dope. Hey, I'm great. How are you?
I'm excellent. A question I like to start off with a lot of my interviews is just kind of like what you've been up to with quarantine. Obviously, we've seen you on TikTok, so you've been doing that. So maybe the better
Yeah.
question is, why don't you walk us through what your a day in the life of Blue in quarantine looks like?
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, in the early days, it's kind of changed over time, but in the early days, it was literally like wake up, get dressed, have my coffee, whatever. I would make like two TikToks and then I would yeah, crazy. And then I would make music for like the rest of the day pretty much until like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Like I was staying up really late. And then nowadays it's kind of changed a little bit since stuff is a little bit more opened up in New York and stuff. So I've been like going to like studios and stuff instead. So like yesterday I had like some meetings and like interview and then like went to the studio at the end of the day at my friend's spot in New York. So it's been kind of a mix, yeah.
Kind of a grind, no
But
rest.
yeah, it's the hustle. Like basically just making like right now I've just been like after Figured Out and Cotton Candy came out, I kind of like chilled for a second making music and now I'm like back on it super hard, just writing stuff every day. So yeah.
That's super rad. And you're
Yeah.
talking cranking out these bass TikToks. Like, how long does it take you to learn a song?
Um so the actual learning part is pretty fast, like maybe like 5 to 10 minutes. But like playing it and recording it and editing it like kind of takes a while. Like I don't think people realize it takes me like a few hours per TikTok probably. Like total time from like learning the song, playing it, recording it and like lining up the video and the audio and stuff. So yeah.
So you don't record it in TikTok and you're not just like, oh, I recorded it, we're done.
No, I mean I used to do that, but it was getting really crazy because I was just like blasting the music super super loud to try to get it like on the yeah to get it like into the camera speaker. It was kind of ridiculous, and I would just be playing like Savage like 50 times in a row, like blast and like the same part, and like the people I was living with, like my brother and my family would be like, Blue, like shut up, like this is so annoying. So I've had to change approaches, and now I record it into like Ableton, and then I line up the video, so it's easier, but like it just takes more time.
Yeah, no,
But
that
yeah.
makes sense. When I record my TikToks, I have to speak pretty loudly because I use a mic that's pretty low.
Right.
And my brother's room is right next to me, so I'll repeat the same line over and over where it's like, Rising Artist Series.
Yeah.
And
No,
he's like,
literally.
God damn, shut up.
Dude, literally, I've had to do so many of the like when you put out a song, you have to do like Spotify liners. You have to be like, "Hey, it's Blue," and like swipe up to check out my song. And I do, and it takes me so long. Like this is an inside secret. Like I'm pretty sure every artist has this thing. Like it's for some reason so difficult to do. Just to be like, "Hey, I'm Blue DeTiger. My new song is out now." Swipe up. Like I'll literally do probably like 100 takes of the same because I'm like, oh, this word like sounds bad. Like it's so funny. And my parents are just like, oh my God, like get out, like stop.
Man, that's hella funny. Yeah, I feel like you can get all the words right in your Spotify promo or whatever, but then like you gotta the personality is what you really gotta nail down.
And then
Like,
people will be like, there was one, I think an ad that I had go up that I didn't even realize was up. And like I sounded like really like bored or something. And the comments were like, wow, like she's woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I'm like, dude, I just probably did like a million takes and just like chose the first one because I was so like out of it. But yeah, it's really funny. It gets, yeah, I get roasted for sure.
that's wild. Well, let's go back to the beginning. So you started playing bass at the age of 7, correct?
Mhm.
And then what I read was that you said that you started playing bass because you didn't want to be mainstream. Um, Are there other instances where like you've been like, no, this is too mainstream. I want to do something else.
um, yeah, I mean, I don't know if the word mainstream popped up more, but like, yeah, I think just I've always wanted to be like a little bit unique and different. I think when I started DJing a lot, like I would bring my bass to like all my DJ sets and kind of improvise over my DJ sets, like kind of what I do in my TikToks. Like I would just make up bass lines on the fly, um, and kind of like shred or solo over like pop songs when I was DJing. And I think I started doing that because I was like, yeah, like everyone can like DJ, like why not try to make it a little bit like different or cool? So I think I've always kind of like had had that mindset when I approached different things.
I guess when you use the word not wanting to be mainstream, you can sound kind of pretentious. So
I know, and now
that's
like, and
good
it's,
phrase
I
like
know, I think I was just so young, like I was just like a weirdo, like 7-year-old kid. But I think now the word like to use more is just like unique or a little bit like off center, because the music I make is still like pop, it's like still like pop music. So
that.
you
Yeah.
know, I love the I embrace the mainstream, but I try to be a little bit different, just to cut through and just like express myself in the best way.
Oh yeah. Do you think you were
Yeah.
a hipster in high school or middle school?
Yeah, totally. Especially in middle school, because I started like when I first started playing and like getting into music, I was listening to like Rolling Stones and the Beatles and like Led Zeppelin, and like all the other middle schoolers were listening to like whoever was like Miley Cyrus. Like I don't even know who was popular. Like what were I don't even remember the big songs, but I would be like, oh guys, like I only listen to Rolling Stones, and they'd be like, okay, Blue, like get out of here. But yeah, I mean, I was always into like and then I was like really into jazz in like high school and stuff. I was kind of just all over the place musically, just getting into everything. But yeah, I was definitely a little like hipster, like downtown New York, artsy, artsy kid
So
for
you
sure.
wouldn't be caught dead listening to LMFAO in middle school.
Oh my God. I mean, I would get down. Like I could get down, like, you know, like bar mitzvah season comes around and you're like just I'm like down with all of it. Like I appreciate all genres for sure. Like I respect it. I mean that song is a slammer. Like what is it called? Sorry for party rocking.
Yeah, yeah, something like
Fucking smash. That's a smash. I can respect the smash hit for
that.
sure.
So at the age of 17, you started DJing. How long were you DJing before you started bringing your bass to your sets?
I did it like straight from the beginning. So like
No way.
first gig, yeah, like first gig I ever did. I mean, I practiced a lot before, and I was like, I got really into like the technical side of it and really like delving into the actual like skill that you need to mix and to like read a room and stuff. So I was practicing that a lot at like just at home, and then but the only way you can really like get good at DJing is by doing it for real in front of a crowd. Um, but I just brought my bass the first set I ever had when I was like 17. I like had to show my fake ID at the door. It was like really scary. And I was like begging the guy because he was like, "This is fake." He like knew it was fake. And he was like, "This idea is fake." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, just like I'm DJing. Like, can you please like let me? I was like begging. It was so funny. But yeah, and I just brought it, and people reacted really positive to it, and I just saw how it made people kind of like light up, and it was something that like they hadn't seen before, and I really I like felt that, and I felt really good about it. So I just like literally kept doing it every single time. It became like sort of my thing. And then I was getting like booked for it specifically because it was like so niche and different and stuff. So
That's sick.
yeah.
Did the promoters know that you were 17, like when they were reaching out? I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I just like would never say how old I was. I would just be like, just don't worry about it, like whatever. I think they always knew, but would never like say. Like would never really acknowledge it.
Yeah.
So, but I think they always kind of like had an idea, but I would just always be like, yeah, like 20. I would just be 21 for like every year. Like every year is my birthday, and I was just like, yeah, I'm 21, like every single year. But yeah, but I'm also like I was like super professional and like wouldn't drink and would be like really on it, like because I was just that's what I was there to do, was like actually like to DJ. Like I wasn't there to like party or whatever. So yeah, I was on it, on my hustle, for sure.
You what would you say was your worst fake ID experience?
Oh my God, probably that one, probably my first one, because it really like shook me because I was so stressed already as it is. Like it was like my first gig, and I was already really like nervous and stressed out. And I was like, oh, like I hope the equipment works. Like I hope I'm good. Like it was already all these like older, cool NYU kids that are coming to that party, and I was like literally like coming from basketball practice like in high school. It was like I was already so like shook, and I get there and I was just like so freaked out. So I think that the first one was probably like my worst, and then I kind of got used to it. Um, but yeah, I think that was my worst.
No, I can imagine just being hella shook as
Yeah.
a 17-year-old trying to get into
Yeah, I was just
being
like, oh my, I was like, I can't believe this is happening. Like my first gig, like this is so lame. Like it was really funny. But it all worked out in the end, so we're good. He let me in, so shout
Oh, yeah.
out. That guy.
Shout out that guy if you're watching.
Yeah, shout out that guy if you're watching.
We don't forget.
I never forget. And then like I ended up being like friends with all the other like I kept playing at like just other clubs in Manhattan, and I ended up being like friends with all the other bouncers at the other clubs. And I would show up and we would like hug, and I'd be like, "What's up, Bobby? Like, how's it going?" But they're all so nice. Like bouncers are so like really actually such nice people, but they get such a bad rap because of they have to deal with a lot of annoying people at the door. So.
Oh, I bet. Vogue even wrote an article about you, calling you the coolest DJ ever. Like, how did that even come to be?
Yeah, I was doing a lot of like fashion events as well, like DJing for fashion events in New York Fashion Week, and I think I got booked for an event that was like associated with Vogue. It was like Vogue Time, some sort of brand, and they came and they wrote like a little spiel about it, so that was cool.
Oh yeah, that's super rad. And I feel like fashion is something that, I don't know, from my perspective, you take very seriously. Was there something that like inspired you to like, I don't know, get into fashion or whatnot? I mean, I can say that for me, like, not that I'm some fashionista or like rogue man, but like there was definitely a point in college where my roommate was like, "Bro, you gotta like step your game up. Like, this is."
Oh my god. Oh my god, that's crazy. Yeah, I think it's just growing up in New York City and just being surrounded by like creatives and people who are into fashion, just like walking around on the street, seeing that like you're just kind of surrounded by that culture. So I think I was always just kind of into it because I was around it a lot. Yeah, now I'm just more into it just like as a way of like expressing myself and like showing my taste, and I like to put on like I guess like newer designers, or I try to, or yeah, I like when people are commenting on my TikTok like, where do you get all your mesh shirts? Like I guess I'm like now I'm like known for like my mesh shirts, which is like cool to have like a thing. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just another way of like expressing yourself. So
That's funny that you brought up the mesh shirts, because I was listening to one of your interviews and there was like, my guess, a 40-year-old radio host asking you about mesh shirts.
I mean,
Like,
literally, I
this?
remember that, and I was just like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know.
You're like, do
But
you
yeah,
want
like
one?
like people ask about my jewelry. Yeah, people ask about my jewelry a lot. Just like I get random. Those are my like frequently asked questions. Like, where do you get your mesh shirts? What bass do you play? And where are your rings from? That's like those are like the three questions I get a lot.
And can you cover insert song? I'm sure you get that one a lot.
Oh yeah, always. But I've been trying to do that. I know usually because also like from my like DJ background, I'm so like I don't do like requests. Like I'll be at because it's so like it's such a different thing. But now I'm like loving like going into the comments and like, seeing what people are requesting and trying some stuff out. So I've been trying to do that just as a way to interact with people. It's really fun. See what people are into. So now I'm into it. So if you're watching this, yeah, like flood the comments with some requests. I try, but then people get mad if I don't do there. So I'm like, shit. It's like it's hard.
Yeah.
Double-edged sword. But
I feel that.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into the requests because it's fun.
Yeah. Also, when you're a DJ, like almost never doing a request because you have everything on your USB, and it's like
literally, I'll be like, I don't have it. I'll be like, dude, I literally do not have it. Like, I don't have that song. Yeah, it gets hard for sure.
And they're like, I'll pay you like $20, $50 to play the song, and you're like, I physically do not have it.
Yeah, I'm like, I literally like,
There's
do you want to like airdrop me? Like, I don't know. There's no way of doing it. Like, people like, there's no way. But yeah, I miss like performing and DJing and all that stuff a lot. So
yeah, me too. I mean, I only performed in places with like 50, 100 people, but like it was still
like physical people is crazy. Like, yeah, it's been fun though to do. I've been doing a lot of like virtual, like setting up these like live performance videos. I just did another one the other week that's coming out in like 2 weeks, I think. That's I'm really excited about it. It came out really cool. But those have been fun, but it's still not the same as like just having a real audience there.
Yeah. Is the live show that you recorded, is that like your music, or is this a DJ set? Or
it's my music. Yeah, so it's like all live, like all my music. It's some a few new songs that are coming out on my EP that's dropping like next year as well. So it's a little taste of the new stuff. But yeah, I haven't done DJ stuff in forever just because I've been just focusing all on my projects. So yeah.
And you brought up the new EP, so I'm gonna ask you a question about that. Like,
Yes, let's get
when,
into it.
when can we expect the EP? When can we expect a new song? What's the new, like, what's the sound of the EP or the lyrical content of the EP gonna cover?
Totally.
Basically, like, just what can you tell us about the new music?
Totally. So, I have another single coming out in January, and then the EP is coming out shortly after. A lot of the songs that I wrote during this time, like during the quarantine time, and there are a few songs that I wrote way before, but I kind of finished up during this time. So I think a lot of the songs are coming at it from like the perspective of like lockdown and quarantine. So a lot of the songs deal with those sorts of feelings, um, of just like loneliness and like nostalgia and longing for like a different time and all that sort of stuff. I think that's kind of like the common theme. But all the songs are super like groovy as well, because I can't help but like making groovy stuff, because that's just like that's my creative process. That's like how that's how I approach songwriting, is from like the groove and like the bass line, and all the songs like really drive all the music. Like it's like very melodic lines, and kind of comes to like the forefront of a lot of my songs, which I'm really excited about, just to kind of like showcase the instrument in a new way that hopefully people haven't like heard that much before. But yeah, that's kind of the rundown. It's very it's like fun, tongue-in-cheek, dreamy, groovy. That's kind of the rundown of it. But yeah, I hope people like it. I think if people liked Figure It Out and Cotton Candy Lemonade, like they're all kind of in that realm. So
Oh
yeah.
yeah, that's rad.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
And backtracking a little bit, so you're running the DJ circuit, then you go to NYU for a couple of years. How long are you at NYU before you meet the Knox or Caroline Polachek?
I was at NYU for 2.5 years, and I met the Knox, I think my sophomore year, and just through like DJing and like the nightlife scene and all that stuff, because they're very much in that circle in New York. And yeah, I like became friends with them, and that's when like I've always been writing music and like producing stuff on my own, and doing like my own like artist thing, but I hadn't put out like actual songs for my project yet. So I met up with them, kind of like told them about my vision, and we made a few songs, and I put those out in 2019, and then I went on tour with them, which was really fun. And then through that, yeah, I was just like on tour with different acts, and then I met Caroline just from like being in LA and like mutual friends, I guess, and she reached out to me. And then I went on tour as her band member, and then yeah, just a lot of crazy stuff. I was about to do this tour with Fletcher, like in her band, and also like opening with my project. And then, quarantine happened. So that was like the up until now, kind of the flow of things.
That's crazy. I feel like being a
Yeah.
DJ in high school and then going on tour in college, like, I feel like that's a very unconventional school experience. Like, was that
Oh my God, literally
at all?
what I ended up having to like basically drop out, but I'm, leave of absence, because I'm still on like a leave of absence. But basically I ended up having to like just leave, because my last semester that of NYU, when I was there, I was literally like flying out to meet this band on tour. Like I would fly out. First of all, I made all my classes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I was just like a psychopath. Like I made all my classes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I was taking like the minimal amount of credits, like minimal amount. Like I think I took like piano lessons for like 2 credits, which is like unheard. Like I was really like messing with the system. And then because I didn't want to like not tour.
Yeah.
So because I didn't want to just like stifle my career and like my experience and all that stuff. And I would fly out like Thursday morning, meet this band on tour, play the shows like Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and then take a red eye back to New York Sunday night to make my like Monday morning class on Monday, like ridiculous stuff. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like during the week, I would be like going to the studio with the Knox and like finishing up my own project. So I was just like doing like a million things. And then I like ended up having to leave NYU because it was like too much.
Bro, that's wild. That's the New
It
York
was crazy.
there.
Yeah, it was just like, it's like what's meant to be, it's gonna be. And that was like the right decision for me. Like the timing was just right, and I had like opportunities that I didn't want to pass up. So it made sense for me. Like I wouldn't just tell people to like drop out of school, but for me it made sense.
If Caroline Polachek asks you to go on tour, that's the only exception.
Yeah, like you kind of have to like say yes. She's like literally the coolest person ever, so you kind of have to say yes to that one.
And so
Yeah.
then quarantine broke out, and I think in March you posted your first TikTok. Hopped on an airplane, then it hit 100,000 likes, which is kind of wild.
Literally, I know.
I had a similar experience, except it was 200 likes, and my mind was blown. So
No, but still though, like if you're only comparing it to what you've had, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
you're only comparing it to what you've had. So that's like really crazy. Like I think even when I got like 500, I was, you know what I mean? Like it's always like in comparison to what you're used to getting. But yeah, it's TikTok is wild. Like changed my life literally. So I'm so grateful.
I know. Like one of the questions I was curious to like hear from you is, where do you think you would be now, or like how do you think things would be different without TikTok?
Yeah, oh my God, so interesting to think about because I feel like so much has happened like since I posted my first one. And I think yeah, a lot of stuff would be different. I think I mean it's weird because I also associate TikTok with the pandemic and quarantine. So I think if like quarantine didn't happen and TikTok didn't happen, I would be like on tour with these other artists, which is cool, which I love. Like I love playing bass for other people, but it's like giving a lot of my time to other people, and I wasn't focusing as much on my own project because I was just like taking all these like opportunities. And I think yeah, I just kind of would have been doing that, and I still would have put out my music. I would have put out Figure It Out, but I don't think it would have done as well, obviously without like TikTok helping. without TikTok. And yeah, I think I just kind of would have been doing my thing, kind of the same that I'm doing now, but at a lesser level. Like I wouldn't have had this much like outreach, I guess. But I think if the pandemic did happen and I didn't have TikTok, I kind of would, yeah, still the same thing, but I just would have been focusing on my project. Like the quarantine really forced me to just like sit down and like work on my stuff. So that's been good for me because I needed that like push to just be like, Blue, like you can do this, like literally just like write your music and post you playing bass and you're fine, like you're good. So it's been good for me personally.
That's sick. I mean, I feel like a lot of artists, and I mean people in general, but artists have been struggling in the quarantine, which makes sense. But I feel like if anything, the quarantine TikTok combo, like if anything, just lit a fire under you and like you just exploded, which is crazy.
Literally, and I'm so grateful for that platform, and I'm really grateful that the timing was so like right, because I think like I came home and I was about to get like really depressed. Like I was about to get like really sad because all my tours were like I think it's like so many ups and downs for everyone, but it was like really scary in March, and like all my tours were canceled, and I was just like, what am I going to do? Like this is my life, like touring is my life, performing is my life. And once I had TikTok, I was like, okay, this is dope. Like I can literally just like post every single day. Like it literally saved me. Like it saved me from like so much. Like I was just so focused on it, and it gave me something to do. And I saw it like working, and I was like connecting with people, and I was like talking to fans. Like it was just like literally like saved me. So shout out TikTok. Shout out the TikTok gods.
Yo, TikTok, if you're listening.
Shout out the For You page if you're listening. But no, I think that app is so like special, and it's really helped a lot of people.
That's so true. Like honestly,
like I wouldn't even known you, like you know what I mean.
Yeah,
just true. From the bare bones, like just meeting people. And like I think also like when Figure It Out came out, I was getting so many like messages and videos of people like learning the bass line to figure out, especially like younger girls, which is so like heartwarming to me. So I think that was like the coolest part about all of it, was like having kind of this new like wave of like young players like kind of picking up instruments and learning it during quarantine, like showing me videos and asking what bass to get and like what amp should I get, like just like really I had such like really like cool cute conversations with people from that.
Hell yeah. I mean, that's super sick. I think like all female rock groups are like so badass. Whether you're talking about Hines or Haim or Slater Kinney, like they just shred
Dude,
so hard.
literally.
So I'm glad that you're like inspiring the next gen.
Dude, literally. I mean, yeah, I hope. I'm so into that, especially since like I didn't really have a kind of like female bass player role model in like the pop sphere. Like there are a lot of really dope female musicians, but you kind of have to like search for them. They're more like in the more niche. So like I hope that I'm kind of bringing it more to the mainstream, to use that word again. But like to the pop sphere, you know? I think
Yeah,
that's like one of my goals as well, is to kind of like showcase the instrument more in that realm.
that's sick. And so how many followers did you have when you dropped Figure It Out? Like, did you know it was just gonna be like this absolute sensation?
Yeah, I literally had no idea. Like I'm still like trying to comprehend like how that even happened, but I think I don't even remember. I might have probably like 300K or 400 or like 500K on TikTok or something.
Hmm.
And it was just growing really fast. And yeah, I just had no idea. Like with Figure It Out, like I just like I wrote that song like in April of last year, and then it came out April of this year. And I just always kind of liked it, and I was gonna drop it no matter what. And I just think the timing was just so good because I was getting so many new like eyes on me. Um, and it kind of just like clicked, like my way of like I guess connecting with people and like showcasing my like passion or whatever.
Hmm.
So yeah, I just thought it was like a cool song. I was just like, the song is cool. I like it. Let's put it out. And it ended up, I don't know. It's really, I'm still like so like not confused, but still like how is this happening? And now it's like top, like it charted top 40 alternative radio. Like it was all over the radio. Like it was just like crazy stuff happening like every day. I was just like waking up and my managers would be like, oh, this happened, this happened. I would just be like, oh my God, like this is crazy. So I'm still trying to like grasp.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean,
So
I feel like sometimes like new artists will just put a song out on Spotify and then all of a sudden it'll get on 5 playlists and they're like, how?
no,
How did this
literally, I'm
get
like, who is?
here?
I'm like, I think it's like manifestation, low key, because I'm a big believer in manifestation. Like, I was like it sounds dumb, but even like a year ago, like I would kind of like tell my friends, I'd be like, guys, I'm gonna be like TikTok viral, like I'm gonna be TikTok famous, and I would just kind of say it as like a joke, but in my head, I wasn't joking. You know what I mean? Like in my head, I was like really intrigued by it and like really wanted to like get into it, and then it ended up happening. So and I would like manifest like my songs doing like I'm just a big believer in just like kind of thinking of what you want to accomplish and like thinking that it'll happen and putting out that like positive energy, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
definitely. I mean, like, I went to school in at Cal Poly on the Central Coast of California, and there
Sick.
is a music scene, but it's not like, oh, let me just hop over to Interscope and intern over spring quarter. Like that
Yeah,
is not how that
literally.
works. So, I definitely get you on manifesting how to break into the industry, at least on
Dude,
the
literally,
industry
because
side.
you did it in such a like interesting way too. Like that's not
No.
like like not common, like you know. Like so I think like yeah, just like coming up with creative ways to like tap in is so like that's like imperative right now. I think like the people that are thriving are just coming up with like more, I guess, creative ways to do things. I don't know.
No, 100%. I mean, when I was
Yeah.
applying to jobs post college, like I just graduated, um, and like I would apply for a job and it would get taken down the next day, and I'm like, okay, this is not
Oh
working. Like, I have to get a little bit
gosh.
more creative. So I was like, fuck that. I'm just gonna start a Gen Z music blog on TikTok and see where it
Dude,
goes.
literally. But it worked.
It did,
It
low key.
worked.
So,
Shout out TikTok gods again. Shout out.
and now I'm talking to Blu
Shout out.
DeTiger, so things are working
Yes.
out. Um,
Yes.
So speaking about Figure It Out, smash success, you're like, hell yeah, things are going
Thanks.
well. Did you feel like a lot of pressure when you were releasing like your follow-up song? That like, yo, like this has got to be big, like expectations are high and all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely a lot of pressure, especially since Figure It Out was only like my third song that I've released ever too. So I didn't have that much out before then. Um, and of course, like I wasn't anticipating like the success of Figure It Out either. So I think yeah, it was there was a lot of pressure, but I kind of had to just like let go of it and just be like, I like these songs. So I'm happy with them. I hope other people are happy with them, but it's not going to be the end of, like, I'm okay either way. Like, I kind of had to like accept that. But yeah, I mean, it ended up being good because people like Cotton Candy Lemonade too, I think. And yeah, you just kind of have to like keep doing you. I don't know. I feel like every artist kind of has that like inside pressure of like making your every song better than the last. So, but that's also sort of like motivating.
Mhm.
So I kind of like try to look on the bright side for that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I guess I almost felt like it was equating like the debut album that artists have been working on for a while with their sophomore album. Like, that's how I felt like
Wait,
singles were.
wait, literally, yeah, because yeah, it's always like the sophomore album is always like a tough one because
Yeah.
people are like they want you to like change but also not change. Like it's hard, but yeah, I'm just excited for this EP to come out because I think it's just like a good mix of everything that I'm about. And like I produced a lot of it as well, which is something like newer for me that I've been doing. And I really got into that during quarantine too, just like showcasing my production skills and like honing those skills. So I'm pumped for that too. Like just for people to see that side.
That's sick. So you have the
Yeah.
EP coming out. Like, have you? I'm sure labels are reaching out to you. Like, what are your thoughts like moving forward? Like, are you looking to sign with a label, or are you gonna stay independent, or what are you thinking?
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, after Figured Out came out, I had like all those conversations and they were really dope. I really liked everyone. Like I learned so much. Um, but I kind of just decided to just kind of keep doing my thing for a little bit because it's like very early. As I was saying,
Mhm.
like I've only have a few songs out. So I'm just kind of doing my thing, going with the flow, and then I'm gonna see how I feel later on, I guess. Just like keeping everything open to everything. But it's also hard not being able to like actually meet people during
Mhm.
this time because it's like everything's over Zoom. So that's like another thing that's another like kind of setback. But yeah, I'm just kind of like I think I'm just going with the flow, manifesting the best possible situation.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, but it is a really weird time for artists now, I think, because there's no performing, you can't meet people, you can't do this, it's like a lot of figuring out new ways to do things.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. Um, well, that's cool to hear. I've got a couple more questions that are more fun or interesting that
Yeah,
I'd
let's
like
do
to
it.
end it with. So, who are like the coolest people you would say that you've connected with through TikTok?
Ooh, coolest people I've connected with.
Or if that's
Ooh.
hard, I mean, I know connecting with people is tough. So, or like the
Yeah,
coolest
I mean
people
like
that
all the
maybe follow you.
musician yeah, I mean like all the musician people like Jaden Hammer, like guitarist, like Tower Bird, guitarist. Um and then like I don't know, there's been some cool people who have like I guess like noticed me, which is like felt cool just from like my videos and stuff. Like Anderson Paak like retweeted one of my videos, which is really cool.
Whoa, that's
Yeah,
nuts.
because I'm like such a huge fan. Like Charlie Puth retweeted one of mine. Just like people like that who are just so awesome.
Yeah.
Um, who like I wouldn't have been able to, I guess, like reach without TikTok. Like even like when Dixie did my song, like I was like freaking out because I like love Charlie and Dixie. I'm like obsessed. I think they're so like so cool and like interesting. Like their whole story is just like so crazy. So even when like Dixie did Figure It Out and everyone was like, oh, this song sounds like when we had that connection, like
Mm.
that was a cool thing as well. Um, like just seeing that many people like a video with my song in the background is just like cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think yeah, those are the peeps.
So Dixie D'Amelio, coolest person you've connected with.
Dixie. I don't know. We haven't even really like we've never spoken, so I can't even say that. But it was cool that she did my song. That's what I mean. Like it was really cool that she made a video to my song. That's what I
Yeah. So next question, what are your thoughts on hyperpop?
mean. Ooh, such a good question. Um, honestly, I mean, like, I think it's like really funny that that's like the name for the genre now. Like,
Mm,
or that's like because it's like that Spotify
yeah.
playlist. But I mean, I love all that stuff. Like, I think you could consider like Caroline Polachek style like within that realm. Like, I wouldn't really call it like hyperpop, I guess, but um, all of the songs that like fall into that category, I guess, like on Spotify loosely, I'm like a fan of. Like I love AG Cook, I love Charlie XCX, I love 100 Gex. Like I'm into all of that stuff. So I'm into it. I don't know about like the term, but I would more consider it like PC music, stemming from the PC music scene. But I'm into it. Like AG Cook is so sick too, like just as a producer and like person. So yeah, Danny Harl as well is really dope because he produced all the songs on Caroline's album, so he got to hang out in London a little bit.
That's sick. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
hyperpop's definitely interesting. I mean, especially even like you were talking about the name and how it just comes from a Spotify playlist. Like,
Yeah, I'm like, is that like what the genre is called now?
Well, I was listening to an interview on Pitchfork with 100 Gex, and
oh my god, what'd they say?
and the editor in chief was talking about hyperpop and what, like, do you identify as hyperpop? And then they're like, I don't know. They're like, I guess, I don't know. Like, what is hyperpop? And they had this whole conversation about it and how it's like really
like what? Yeah.
And I feel like it's the collection of. I mean, I'm no expert on hyperpop, but it's a collection of like PC music and other genres within it. So I don't know. I think it's really interesting seeing like pop stars adopt elements of it, like Charlie XCX and the sensation of 100 Gex and how controversial they were, but also like not like they're doing it too scandalous, but like you either love them or you hate them. I feel like,
dude, literally that was such a like cultural moment when that album came out. I feel like it was so like it was just like everywhere. It was like, do you know 100? It was like, do you like 100 Gex? Like that was just like the term. I also saw them at NYU. They did a show at NYU, and this was like I didn't go there, but I had a bunch of friends there, so I could go to the like NYU affiliated shows, and they literally like broke the floor. Like it was like in this like like weird ass, like this was such a crazy show. Like it was in this weird ass like auditorium in NYU, like in one of the like like it was like literally like nothing, like blank room, and like just like the stage, and they had speakers and like they were playing, and it was just the literal like everyone was jumping up and down like so hard that the floor was like cracking. It was just like the most insane thing ever, and I was just like, what is this? But it's such a scene.
That's so wild. I feel like I need to go to a Gex show after.
Oh my god, they're crazy. They're so crazy. I feel like I also feel like so bad for the whole like I guess PC community, because like I feel like that community thrives off like live show and like actual people being in the room, since it's such a like community based thing. So I feel it's like such a bummer that, you know, like those shows aren't happening, because there's so many like shows in like LA, New York that would be like the lineup would be a lot of those artists, like Dorian Electra, so sick. Mood Killer, like all those artists being at those shows is really like special and cool. So I hope it comes back.
Definitely, and there's definitely some cool younger talent coming up too, like Glaive and Break-Ins, and I think it's Parker, how you pronounce it. So I don't know, hyperpop, very interesting and divisive genre. So I always love to hear.
Interesting, but yeah, I'm a fan, but very interesting.
And my last question for you is, I want you to describe your For You page breakdown. Like what kind of.
Oh my god, my For You page is all over the place right now. A lot of it is the biggest thing I'm getting right now is like the videos of like newer or younger artists being like, hey guys, Gen Z has the power to change my life.
Oh my god,
you like this? I get so many of those, and I always like them and comment and like share. I like always try, because I know how hard it is. Like I respect everyone so much, but I get so many of those that sometimes I'm just like, oh my god, not another one. Like
the algorithm knows. It's like this is all she wants.
They know I'm a sucker for that too. Like I'm so like I fall for that just because I've been there, you know, like, and I know, but people are so good at their editing. Like it's crazy. I'm like, how did you make this? Like how long did this take? How did you make this? Like what program are you using? I'm like so many questions. But I get a lot of those. I get a lot of the I would say I'm more on like alt TikTok, but since like when Figure It Out came out and like Cotton Candy and stuff, I was looking at a lot of the like a lot of bigger accounts were posting my song, which I'm like so happy about. Like a lot of like the Hype House and Sway House people were posting it. So I was looking at their accounts a lot to like comment on, like see them using my song and stuff. So I get a lot of like the big create like the Hype House and like Sway House people on my For You page for sure. Because I was just like so like research oriented. Like I was just like looking at everyone and I wanted to like see everyone. So I get some of the like shirtless dance dice rolls for
Blue's
sure.
on straight TikTok.
I know. No, I'm in a mix. I swear I'm like in a mix. It's just because like I'm trying to like I was like looking at where my music was like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? But so I get a mix. What else do I get? And then I just get like weird like random like girls talking about stuff. Like something like random stuff. Or like funny. Yeah, I don't even know. I get a lot of New York City content too. A
Nice.
lot of
I
New
like
York City
that New York skater guy who's always at the top of a building skating to Empire State.
Oh my God, I don't know him. See, I need to be on like this. I need to get more of the like I need to get more of the that stuff. I get a lot of like New York City vlogs, like this is what I do in a day in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm curious what yours is like. Is it a lot of musicians?
Definitely a fair amount of musicians. Definitely a fair amount of people just like talking about music where they're like, yo, you should check out blah blah blah.
Should check out this. Yeah. I get a lot of the impressions too. Like this is my Justin Bieber impression. Like I get a lot of those.
Oh no way! I feel like I haven't seen any of those.
Oh my God, people are so talented. Like people are so good. I get a lot of those.
Is it like singing Justin Bieber impersonation or just like
like singing? Like I got one today and this girl is so good. Yeah, I forget her name, but she was doing it today. Yeah, I get a lot of those. I get a lot of like New York accent challenge and like the accent challenge ones. Yeah, I get so many of those. I get a lot of like you should watch this on Netflix. Like I get some shit, like I get some stuff I get like
I've seen
my For You page is like it's like all over the page. And then I get a lot of definitely a lot of like musician and like music TikTok for sure. And then mixed in like one dice roll and then it's like and it goes back. Like I'll get a random like Bryce Hall one in there and then I'll go back. Like it's really funny.
That is funny. Well, yeah, thanks for breaking that down. I know describing the For You page can be a very personal and private experience.
No, literally, like it knows me like too much. Like it's bad. Like I'll get things where I'm just like, wow, like they're really listening in on my life. Yeah. Like this is too much. Like it's like scary sometimes, but we'll see. We'll see if I need to switch it up a little bit. I feel like get some new content in there.
Refresh the cache. Start new.
Yeah, literally, like I gotta just refresh. I want to see like a completely different side. test out the waters.
Hell yeah. Maybe make your way to frog TikTok or who knows.
Oh yeah, literally, like I want like only dogs. Like I want like puppy TikTok only dogs.
Yeah, well, thanks for talking today. Usually I end my interviews with like, if you want to plug anything. I mean, I'm sure most people know who you are by now, but where people can follow you, new music, anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, like follow me on TikTok, obviously at Blu DeTiger. Also my Instagram is the same, Blu DeTiger. Check me out. YouTube, like I have a music video out for Cotton Candy Lemonade, which is the last single that I put out. Check it out if you haven't seen it already. Got some other cool content on YouTube. Yeah, EP coming out. I don't know, I'm always doing stuff, so keep up. Keep up. Well, yeah, it's so nice talking to you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. And I'm sure I'll see you around on TikTok. So
yeah, for sure. I'll see you on the For You page.
Right,
such a funny phrase. Okay, peace. Bye.